Hey Amanda, how are you?
Good, Charlene. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm so glad we're getting another opportunity to do this. I've been hearing a lot about um, the not the variable, but the fixed interest rate, and I wanted to have a discussion with you regarding that.
Absolutely.
Um, So what I'm going to do is introduce myself. I'm Charlene Williams. I have been a realtor for 14 years and I work with Real Estate Homeward, and I have the lovely Amanda, and we are going to speak about the fixed rate mortgages. So Amanda, please introduce yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Amanda Pivar. I'm a mortgage agent with Vine Group, which is part of Mortgage Alliance. And I have been an agent for 8 years, but in the industry for 11 years.
Excellent. So we're going to jump right into it. Fixed rate, variable rate. Everybody's talking about the variable, Bank of Canada, interest rate hikes, blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about fixed rates because from what I understand, they are going down.
Yeah.
So can you speak to that a little bit for me?
Absolutely. So, I think what a lot of people don't realize is the fixed and the variable do not follow the same schedule to determine them. And the variable is done off of the Bank of Canada, whereas the fixed rates follow more the bond yields. Bond yields are really strong right now. So, we've actually seen our fixed rates go down quite a bit over the last couple of months. Just an example for insured rates, so anything less than 20% down payment in December, sorry, we were at around 5.19. We're now down to about 4.69 for a 5-year fix. So it really has come down quite a bit, but no one's talking about it. Everyone's very fixated on the variable because it's so in the news. But yeah, on the fixed side, we are going down.
So as a buyer, I'm going to purchase a property. Never mind the amount, I could apply for a fixed rate and get something like, well, after the whole stress test and everything else, something like 4.6,
You can if you're putting less than 20% down payment.
less than
But if
20%.
you are putting more than 20% down payment, we are seeing some 3 years that are very close to that 5%, ranging anywhere from 4.99 to 5.2 with one of the lenders I work with.
So that's a 3-year rate.
Correct. I definitely would not be doing a 5-year right now. Even though we are seeing the 5 years go down, a 2 or 3 year rate is a good amount of time to kind of weather the storm of higher rates and have you up for renewal when things are a lot lower. The 5 year is down to 4.69. The 3 year is really not that much higher. It's at 4.79. So not a big difference in monthly payment, and will actually save you money in the long run because you're renewing at hopefully a much lower rate in 3 years versus having a 5 year at a much higher interest rate.
Okay, so this boggles my mind. So I'm gonna I'm gonna try to go through what you said in my terms. So what I think you said is get a 3-year fixed rate at 4.99-ish, right? Because we can't be sure. This is not a certain thing, but it's in and around that amount. Then in 3 years, when you go to renew, will the fixed rate be lower, you think, or the variable be lower?
Realistically, both should be. So these
Okay,
variable rates that are really high right now, they're not going to last forever. So that's why
right.
3 year is long enough term to kind of weather that storm, but then have you up for renewal when rates are back down to what is more of a normal level of rates.
Okay, so I'm just going to say it this way.
Yep.
So if in 3 years we're expecting the variable rate to go down, and you said that that follows the Bank of Canada, in 3 years, will the bond yields, do you think, be strong so that the fixed rates will go down?
Usually, I mean, of course, nobody's a crystal ball, but
Right.
historically speaking, if you look at our rates, yes, they will both start going down. And we expect the fixed rates also to be back down.
Okay.
Now, whether
So,
the fixed or the variable is a better option at that time, nobody knows, but all of
right.
those should be back down.
Right. So just to follow what you were saying, and that's what I wanted to clarify because there's so many um players in place here that
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just don't get it, and I'm not the only one. I mean,
It's like
again,
confusing. Yeah.
right. And I work in the industry, so it's kind of like I should understand this, but
Mhm.
I'm glad that I've given you the opportunity to answer my questions and everyone that's paying attention to us that, they are able to see that. So,
Mhm.
um, market wise, then we're saying if you need to renew your mortgage, how does that affect you?
So a renewal, I definitely would not be doing a 5 year. I would be doing a lower term just to kind of weather the storm of higher rates. I know a lot of people, banks in particular, who clients are for renewal, they're pushing the 1 year fix. I think that's a mistake. I don't think 1 year is long enough. I do think that yes, in 1 year, we will start to see things be lower and coming down. But I think a 2 or 3 year is a longer period of time to really see the rates at a regular, more stable level. Because the last thing someone wants to do is do a 1 year, and then yes, the rates are should be lower in a year from now, lock in for a 5 year, and then see them go down another percent and a half.
Right. You definitely don't want to do that.
No, not at all.
Um, so you're saying that for the next, if you are renewing over the next 6 months, you should probably try to get a fixed rate, 2 years minimum, 3 years max that you can, at that time renew and take advantage of even lower rates.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, Amanda. Do you have any questions for me in my market?
So I am seeing tons of postings online that we're having 13 offers, 11 offers. Are you really starting to see these bidding wars come back already?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
It's good for the sellers, not so much for the buyers. It depends on the area that you're in, of course. Places like Leslieville, the beaches, even some parts of East York are showing signs of, well, they never really slowed down. So the multiple offers are back. Instead of 3, 4 offers on a place, you're going to see 13, 14, 15 offers, and they're driving up the prices again. So, the news has a lot to do with whatever they say people absorb, and they go with it. It's not a fire sale out there. I don't even know if it ever was a fire sale. You
Right.
could have gotten a decent price back in December, September
Yeah.
2020, right? You could have gotten a decent price in those areas, but I mean, it's going back up. It's inching back up. It depends on the area. I had someone ask me about Richmond Hill and Markham. They never ever went south. They always stayed relatively even.
It's very true. And I think people forget we always have a supply and demand issue.
Yes, and they definitely do. And again, I've had clients say, well, it's 7.99. I saw I saw a property that I was going to show my client last weekend in Oshawa for
Mhm.
7.99. It was listed. They were holding offers. He's like, how much do you think? I said, at this point, I don't know. It's a nice house. It's
Yeah.
it's renovated. It's got everything that is up to date. So what are we thinking? I don't know anymore. I don't know how to advise you. Is it over your budget? Yes, I think it's going to be over your budget. That house sold for over $1 million.
Wow. We have
I
not
know.
seen that big a gap in a long time, like maybe 50
No.
over 100, but wow.
Yeah, I was very surprised. Somebody really wanted that house.
Yeah, absolutely. And supply and demand, they've probably been looking for a while, haven't found the perfect house because we don't have a lot of inventory.
Yes.
We're over 1 million.
Yes, exactly. So that's where we're at in the market, and hopefully that we will see more how homes come on the market towards springtime, because I think we're back to a traditional market, let's say.
Yeah.
But it really is. It's the Wild West out there.
It's very true. And I feel like come spring, especially if Bank of Canada starts to still show even more stability, I agree. I think we're going to have a really busy market.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks again, Amanda. Thank you so much for your insights into the mortgages and the fixed rate. I think that's really good news for some people who are renewing their mortgage for sure. It's a strategy, and you have to play with a strategy.
And
So
speak to
that's a
the
good thing.
professionals, because
Yes,
unfortunately, I feel like some people, don't get me wrong, the branches are great, but they do so many different things that they're maybe not well versed in mortgages in particular. So speaking to a professional definitely is beneficial.
absolutely. Thanks again,
Thanks
Amanda.
so much, Charlene. I'll talk to you very soon.
Okay, take care.
Bye now.
Bye.